I'm very fortunate. I have another lovely guest for you to listen to. She's been on the program before. She is the CEO of Little Wings, Claire Pearson. How are you, Claire?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me.
That's good. We've had you on before. You know, if we start having you on like this, we're going to have to start charging you.
Exactly. I have to get a seat with my name on it.
Yes, well, exactly. Yes, we'll get you the gold microphone as well, too.
Absolutely. I need one of those.
Now, the reason why we've got Claire on the show is because two local charities, hers and also Give It, have joined forces to better help hundreds of New South Wales regional families that need to fly into the city for life-saving medical treatment. So first off, we might ask Claire, how did that all come about, Claire?
So probably easiest to explain each of the services. Little Wings is a small charity based at Bankstown Aerodrome. And what we do is we have a small fleet of aircraft and we fly around the state picking up seriously ill children. We fly them into Sydney and Newcastle to access life-saving medical treatment that isn't available in their hometown. And Give It, on the other hand, is sort of the silent hero, if you like. They fly around supporting charities, help plug the gaps of families in need when they need it at times as they fluctuate throughout the life cycle. So, for instance, at the moment, there's been all the floods. We've reached out to Give It for food vouchers or clothing items, and they provide them to us and we pass them on to our families.
Yes, the floods really have caused some problems, haven't they?
They really have. Actually, Little Wings has been very lucky because commercial flights weren't flying, but the light aircraft were able to get in and out. We did have to share the runway with quite a few creatures as they took refuge on the tarmac.
Oh, gosh.
However, we've still been able to fly in, and so we've been able to really connect with families that are in a point of crisis, and Give It have been there to back us up and help fill those gaps.
Yes. Could I ask? It seems to be that that's something that could have been done, and not criticising anyone there, but that you'd have thought that you'd have got together sooner than what you have done now. Is there any particular reason why that's happened, or is it?
I'm not sure. I suppose charities tend to operate in a little bit of a bubble. You usually have a very lean team and you just trying to support the people that need to connect with your mission.
Yeah. So what sort of support team does Give It have then?
Well, Give It are pretty lean on the ground too. They actually only have one representative that covers all of New South Wales. Her name's Kirsty and she's an amazing lady.
Wow, that is a big job, isn't it?
It really is, especially when you have these peak crisis points, bushfires or flooding.
Yeah.
And so we've been working with them since probably about September last year.
Okay.
But in that time, we've literally distributed hundreds of items for families, and they can be simple items such as a voucher for food or fuel, but sometimes they're a car seat for young babies or a pram, might be medical equipment or something just as simple as a haircut or a small fee for a school excursion where a child is going to miss out.
So it's really covering the gamut of things, really, isn't it?
That's right. I think the premise of Give It is really around people want to donate and do good,
yes.
But we're not necessarily giving what is needed. We're giving what we want to give.
Yes.
And so Give It sort of turns that on its head and says, tell us what you need and let us help you fill that gap.
Do you know how they operate, how they get things in motion, as it were?
They have twofold. They obviously get a lot of funding through corporate sponsors, sometimes government. So in a crisis like the flooding or fires, they do get a small grant to help fill those gaps. And then everyday people just saying, I want to help. They go onto the website, they can see all the stories, including Little Wings stories.
Yes.
And they can donate. So it might be a haircut, it might be colouring in pack, a new school pack, or something more expensive. Medical equipment, things like that a family need.
Well, that's fantastic, isn't it? It's great that the two charities can come together and sort of complement each other, as it were.
Yeah, look, no one charity can fill every need of any one family. No. So collaboration and actually working together is so crucial.
Yes.
And it just makes the world a little bit more of a comfortable space and a more proactive space because we can reach people more organically, and I suppose people feel a little bit safer with one charity. So when you introduce another, they automatically trust that they're there to do.
Well, this is a very, very new thing, isn't it? I mean, how long has it been going now that you've been involved with Give It?
We've been working with Give It since about September last year.
Right.
And as soon as we learnt about them, straight away we started reaching out to our families because, as I said, it's a trusted space when they come to see us. So not that they're asking us for help, but they might say, oh, you know, my son doesn't have a new pair of school shoes, so he's wearing thongs at the moment and it's causing a problem because he's getting notes home, it's causing a bit of stress. They're really just debriefing with us. But what we can then do is say, would you like me to put in a request to see if we can get him a voucher for some new school shoes and you and he can go and purchase those together.
Suppose you've had a lot of good feedback about it all.
Absolutely amazing. And especially during COVID, because a lot of our kids were unable to come in because they have their immune system is compromised. So they weren't able to come into the hospital. So they were doing a lot of telehealth or they were stuck in the hospitals for long periods and couldn't go home. So we were able to get them things like iPads or a laptop so they could stay connected with their peers and keep up with schoolwork.
Yes.
So it's really been amazing for us.
I was going to ask you, we've got Easter coming up.
We do, yes.
Yeah. What is there anything special with any kids coming in from the regional areas over the Easter break or not?
Really, food vouchers are really important around this sort of time because a lot of families are living on basics anyway. But then when you have Christmas or Easter or big celebrations, the dining table is still pretty bare. And these are proud families. A lot of them are farmers and you know, they're not going to put their hand up and ask for help. So it's nice that we can just offer a voucher just to bring a little bit of joy.
And there'll be Easter eggs, of course.
Of course, essential. Absolutely essential.
Oh, dear, that's lovely. Now, I was going to ask you also, since we last spoke, what sort of fundraising activities have you had for Little Wings? I imagine you've probably been very busy because last time we spoke to you, you said you were. So can you tell us what you've been getting involved in since we last spoke?
Of course, yeah. Events are so important to us because we don't receive government funding, so we really rely on events. So we did a Dubbo dinner out at Dubbo, obviously, at the Dubbo RSL, and we brought families together, we brought community members, and we were able to raise enough to support 10 families from the local area, which is fantastic. We were involved in the NRL Charity Shield out at Mudgee recently, giving one special family a money can't buy experience with the team. They did the toy costs and just raising awareness for us, flying our plane overhead and being up on the big screen to tell people who we are and what we do and how we can help.
I imagine that's quite a buzz with the plane flying overhead. That must give them a real thrill.
Yeah, particularly because we've got approval to fly it quite low. So
you
know, it's quite a buzz.
Yes,
and you think about the echo in the stadium. So yeah, it was pretty amazing just to see it in action.
Yes, yeah. Any other activities that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, we've got a golf day coming up. We'd love to see people come along and support us and have a great game of golf, of course.
Where's that happening?
That'll be in Penrith.
Oh, right, okay.
So we're doing that. We have a children's concert will be coming up later in the year at Bankstown Sports Club.
Okay.
So with some great headlining shows and just to, again, bring a bit of joy. And it's a children's charity. We really love the idea of kids helping kids, you know.
Yes.
So we have that coming up. We have a picnic day for families coming up in November. Lots of things. You can jump on our website at littlewings.org.au and have a look at all the events that are scheduled for the year.
Right. Okay then. Well, I think I've covered just about most of the things that I wanted to talk about. Unless you want to push something in particular, I know that you're always looking for help. You're always looking for and sort of donations as well, and Yeah,
obviously. I think it's just we appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more about us, and the more people that know about us, the more people we can essentially help, because we all know someone that at some point is going to need a service such as ours. So yeah, we really appreciate that, and all the listeners, and we hope you'll jump on our website and have a look, learn a bit more.
Yes. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Claire. I really do appreciate that, and that's the wonderful work that you do, and hope you have the energy to keep going and do more of it, because it's absolutely fabulous, and also to carry on the work, as I say, with Give It as well. It seems to be the complete package there, as it were.
Yeah, it's just that wraparound support for families in need.
Yes,
so indeed. We're very lucky to have them on board.
Yes. All right, Claire, thank you so much for talking to us, and hopefully we can have you in again when you have some more of your activities, and we can help you promote those.
Sounds like a date. Lock me in.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Claire.
Thank you.